The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration said it's investigating whether Boeing employees failed to perform key inspections on its 787 jets. Last month, Boeing had informed the agency that it may not have completed required tests to confirm adequate bonding and grounding where the wings of the 787 Dreamliner meet the fuselage. A Boeing engineer recently came forward publicly with different quality allegations about several Boeing models. Meanwhile, the airliner has had to postpone the launch of its first human spaceflight, citing, guess what, a technical glitch. The Starliner was to carry 2 NASA astronauts to the International Space Station. The company hopes to enter the commercial spaceflight sector with a hope it will improve investor confidence after recent safety issues sent stock prices tumbling. Emre Boz has all the details.
Going where almost no man has gone before, the Starliner will be the first human spaceflight launched by Boeing. Its destination, the International Space Station. It's an attempt by the company to enter the commercial crew program, providing the transportation services to and from the International Space Station, a project nearly 10 years in the making after a $4.2 billion deal between Boeing and NASA to develop its space capsules.
The other thing to comment about this flight is this is all a part of our commercial activities. So you've already seen commercial crew and cargo to orbit with the Dragon and other cargo vehicles. This will give us that additional capability because we always look for a backup.
And for Boeing, the success of the launch will help improve investor confidence in the company. Much needed after a Boeing 737 MAX 9 experienced an in-flight fuselage blowout. The company's stock price has been on a downward trend since the incident in early January, falling by nearly 7% in the past 6 months. The World Economic Forum expects the space economy to be worth $1.8 trillion by 2035, averaging a growth rate of 9% per annum. And this includes investment into satellite and other space-based technologies. Analysts say that the gap between its cheap rival SpaceX in commercial spaceflights is far too large to overtake, with Elon Musk's company constantly upgrading its Starship, the world's largest and most powerful rocket. But authorities at Boeing are confident that with this first spaceflight into space, they may soon also be exploring the final frontier. Emre Boz, TRT World.
Let's get more on this now with Fabrizio Poli. He's an aviation advisor and author of The Quantum Economy. And he joins us now live from Manchester. Great to be with you. So, Fabrizio, the scrubbed launch is yet another setback for Boeing, which has already dealt with years of delays and budget overruns with its Starliner program. Can you drive us through what's happening with the company when it comes to its space sector, at least?
Well, I mean, very often these space launches get delayed. Most of the time it's due to weather. This time there was a problem with one of the oxygen relief valves. So they decided to not launch and go and check this valve carefully. Now, they don't know if they can fix it while it's on the launch pad. They may have to remove it from the launch pad to repair it, which means that the launch will be delayed a few more weeks instead of a few more days. But this is something that happens quite often where they delay these launches. So I wouldn't, point the finger so much at Boeing. They're just being, being cautious, basically.
Interesting. Boeing is hoping to become the second private firm able to provide crew transport to and from the ISS alongside Elon Musk's SpaceX. I'd like to ask you, what's the economy behind all this, and how much can a company such as SpaceX and Boeing monetize this?
Well, first of all, SpaceX are doing what Boeing are doing, but with half the budget. So that's the first thing, which is important to underline. The other thing is there's been a lot of things that have been invented as a result of space travel. For example, Velcro, baby formula. These are two things that most people don't know. They were invented thanks to the space program. So there are many benefits that we reap from here on Earth, besides developing more technology and that to go further afield to the moon, Mars, and beyond. So there's benefits both for space travel, but also for us here on Earth, such as baby formula and Velcro.
That's really interesting. And we've seen the share price, right? I mean, Boeing's share price stood at around $251 per share at the beginning of the year. We are now around 178. I mean, it's not half, but it's close to that, having lost some 40%, I guess, so far. Do you think there's a potential for improvement at this point? And some analysts are saying this could really be a very good entry point. What do you think?
Well, we need to have a successful launch of this Boeing rocket. So that's the first thing. Boeing need to start doing things right. We need to start reading positive news about Boeing airplanes, Boeing rockets in the news. I mean, this setback, another few more days of this rocket launch is not good. That's not going to be positive for the share price. So they just have to start getting things right and telling the story. And I think, the share price will start to come up again as long as they get it right.
Right, and also for what concerns the automotive sector for Boeing and the transport sector and tourism as well. Fabrizio Poli, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you.